You obviously love listening to podcasts. Well, have you tried an audiobook? Hi, I'm Kim, and I am an audiobook listener. It's actually my preferred way to, quote unquote, read. And if you haven't tried listening to one yet, go to www.fromringtoveil.com/freebook to get a free audiobook from Audible. I may have just given you your new obsession.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And you are listening to From Ring to Veil,
a wedding planning podcast,
where we share tips and information to help you plan the wedding of your dreams.
Without all the stress.
Things not to forget to do after the wedding. Episode number 101.
In this episode, we are going to give you plenty of tips on what to do after the wedding. And that's not necessarily after the honeymoon, but right after the wedding.
Right after the wedding. And everybody forgets.
Yes. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people do.
Lots of people forget that there's stuff to be taken care of that night before you go on your honeymoon. So you need to have people there to take care of it.
If it's not you.
Right.
So before we get started, we wanted to let you know that we now have a Patreon page. If you go to www.fromringtoveil.com/give, this is a place where if you'd like to support us monetarily, you can give anything from $1 to whatever your heart desires, just to help support us and to keep this podcast going.
It pays for our hosting, our research materials, giveaways for you, anything like that. It can even send us to podcasting conferences where we can learn to sound better.
And do this a little better.
Do business a little better. Things like that.
Yes. So just a little note, if you'd like to do that, please visit us there. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, please do that. Please. It's there for your convenience, for our convenience, so that you know when we have a new podcast out, that you can listen to it. It'll be right there in your podcast player, and you can listen to the next episode as soon as it comes out. If you don't know how to do that, let us know. We'll help you through it. All right, on to the show. Things not to forget. All right, these are very important. Go to the show notes for this episode, and you can print it out and check them off if you want to, if it's easier for you.
And our second wonderful piece of advice after hiring a planner is to delegate.
Yes, that's right.
That's number 1 is hire a planner. Number 2 is delegate.
That's right. And this is a list to delegate.
Okay. So figure out your day after plans. Where will you stay if you're not going on a honeymoon right away or until you have to catch a flight?
Right.
So that means if you need to spend a night in a hotel before you catch your flight on your honeymoon, figure that out. And it's good to make it kind of close to the venue so you don't have to drive so far.
That's right.
Or close to the airport so you don't have to get there so early in the morning.
That's right. Or, maybe somebody offers for you to stay at their house. You just need to have a plan.
I don't know if I'd want to stay at somebody else's house on my wedding night, though.
Well, if you're going on your honeymoon, it's just, if you're trying to save money. Who cares? After 20 years, who cares?
After 20 years of marriage, we don't care about the wedding night. And to tell you the truth, you're going to be exhausted anyway.
Exactly. You're going to be, well, for me, I was starving and exhausted.
Because you don't eat. Yeah, you don't eat.
Yeah, if that's something you forget to do.
Yeah, because you're talking to people and you don't eat. Anyway. So figure out your day after plans or your night after the wedding plans.
Right.
Have a reservation at a hotel, somewhere nice and cozy, maybe a cabin if you live in, close to the outdoors.
Yeah.
Where they have cabins in the mountains or something like that. Just figure something out. That way it'll be off your list. It'll be off your mind.
You'll be good to go.
Okay.
Next one, pick someone to take your things home after the reception. And that's like your all your getting ready stuff. Your shoes,
your dress.
Yeah, things like that. Somebody's got to take care of that. And so if you leave with the new spouse and
you're not, once you change into your quote unquote travel clothes, because you don't really want to leave with your wedding dress on, unless you're going to make a show of it in the hotel.
Right.
But And usually it's the maid of honor and the best man's job to get, the maid of honor is to get all your dress, all your shoes, all your makeup, all your other clothes that you came into. Just basically clean up your getting ready room.
Right.
And for the best man, it's his job to make sure the groom's tux is taken care of and gets back to the rental place if it's a rental. Get it clean, get it to the cleaners if it's not. Or even get it to the cleaners if you had to clean it because he spilled something all over before he turns it back into the rental.
Or, yeah. Had an accident. You never know.
That's one of our reasons for this list, is so you to have a delegated list.
That's right.
Yeah. A list for you to delegate to people.
A delegation list. There you go.
Let's get our English correct here today. We've been on vacation.
A little bit, yes. Bring your overnight bag. Don't forget to bring your overnight bag. And I suggest putting it in your
Getaway car.
Getaway car, yeah.
If it's there.
Your getaway car. You're getting away from this.
Yeah.
Your whatever you're leaving in,
Right.
we'll say.
How are you going to get your honeymoon luggage? You
Right.
have to really think about that, too.
Especially if you're leaving straight to the airport from here.
Yeah.
Just all, just depends on what you're doing for that night.
Figure out a way to have your luggage somewhere.
Yeah. Don't forget that, because that would just make it, it could be exciting if you forget your luggage.
If you can check into the hotel early,
yeah, that might be a good idea.
you can have it all delivered there. Maybe your parents, your dad, can
That's
go.
a good dad task.
Yeah. To make sure, check into the hotel, because usually probably they're going to pay for that, maybe.
Yeah. Sometimes.
And they can check into the hotel. They can put your honeymoon luggage in there in your overnight bag so you don't have to mess with it.
That would be really nice. So figure out what you're doing with your overnight bag.
Yeah. And your honeymoon luggage.
That's right. Make post-wedding plans. So what are you doing in the days after your wedding if you're not going on your honeymoon right away? Because some people, they'll wait a week or a month or...
Wait till the summer if you're having a winter wedding and you're
exactly.
busy.
You got to have some plans for right after the wedding, because you can't just go from the wedding back to home. You got to have some kind of transition in between there.
A mini-moon.
A mini-moon would be nice, yes.
If you're getting married on a Friday, you can have the whole weekend.
Yeah. That's what we did. So make those plans.
Have someone drop off your wedding gown to the cleaner to get cleaned and then preserved.
That's right.
Because if you don't get it preserved, it'll turn yellow.
Which mine is probably turning yellow.
Oh, mine's at the Goodwill. So
Not anymore, probably.
no, it's probably not. It's been there. If it has, it's been there for 15 years. So
Shame money. Next, preserve the top layer of cake. Now, you can look up ideas on how to do that. This is, I'm not going to tell you how to do that because we didn't do a good job.
ours was gross.
But there are ways that you can do it where it will, preserve pretty good.
Yeah.
And even if you're not doing the whole layer, you can do a couple pieces.
Yeah. Ours was gross. We put it in Tupperware and everything, and it was still gross once it thawed out. So I'm like, bleh.
Yeah. Well, you can look that up on how to do it.
Jeremy was so disappointed too.
Oh, I bet.
Because he loves cake.
I can't remember what ours was like.
And we took that out on our first anniversary. And we're going off on a tangent here.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're going to thaw it out all day, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll thaw it out. I'll take it out and I'll thaw it out." And I thawed it out, and he took a bite and he spit it right back out because it was freeze burnt.
Oh, that sucks.
And it was a good cake too.
Well, there's ways to do things without getting freezer burn. And especially now, like the food saver that sucks all the air out. We didn't have that back then, So anyway, preserve your top layer of cake.
Have someone collect all the gifts. Either take them to your house or take them to their house so you can pick them up after you get back from your honeymoon if you're going on a honeymoon. You can't leave them at the venue.
No.
So you need to have someone take care of the wedding gifts.
Collect floral decorations or have a plan for them afterwards. This is something we see all the time.
Right? They don't want to pay for the florist to come back and pick them up. Mm-hmm. So you need to have somebody delegated to take care of them, clean up after the party.
If you decide that you don't want the floral designers to come back and pick them up, then yes, absolutely. And there's lots of places, like sometimes you can donate them to different places like Senior citizens homes love them. Sometimes if you're getting married in a church, they will take them and use them for the weekend or whatever.
Right.
So just make a plan for them.
Pick up lost goods.
Things that are left at the venue by your guests. Or you even,
Phones.
Shoes, keys, wallets, all that kind of stuff. If you don't pick them up, then they're going to be gone. I don't think the venues keep them for very long.
Or they'll give them to the people that work at the venue. Hey, this is in the lost and found box for so long.
Keep it.
Check for damages.
Yes, check for damages before you leave, so you know what happened and what didn't happen, or delegate somebody to do it.
Yeah, that would be a good thing for your parents to do.
The only problem is they probably didn't see the venue before the wedding was already set up. So like maybe your planner, it would be good to have your planner come through and look and make sure everything's okay. Nothing's been burned or torn down or written on, or, there's a whole host of things that could happen.
So this one is send thank you cards. This is not something you do right after the wedding. You have 3 months.
Yeah,
that is the prescribed Emily Post etiquette time to return thank you notes, or to send thank you notes. Mm-hmm. And that includes your vendors. Mm-hmm. Vendors love thank you notes. I know we do. I take pictures of them and post them on all of our social media. Yeah. Say, hey, look, our favorite client sent us a thank you note.
Yeah. It's really just, think of how you feel when you get a thank you note. It's nice. Okay, so we're kind of moving into the things not to forget to do after the wedding, not specifically that night,
right,
but after you're married, and these are the things that you need to do. So thank you cards would be on that. Secondly is change your name if you've decided to do so. Security, Social Security, license, bank accounts,
credit cards,
yeah. And we've had a whole show on this kind of a thing. Just a reminder. Don't forget to do that.
Yeah. All your legal and finance stuff, like if you're moving into maybe a home that one of you own, maybe you put both names on the deed.
Right. Insurance.
Right. Wills.
Because it causes issues, especially if you change it on a bunch of other stuff and you forget a few things. Mm-hmm. Then you're like, well, that's not my legal name anymore. And, it just causes a lot
passports.
of trouble.
Because if you don't have the same name on your driver's license as you do on your passport, that can get kind of tricky.
Yes, absolutely.
While you're on your honeymoon, pause your mail. Mm-hmm. You do it online now.
What is it called?
To stop your mail.
Yeah, it's or something like that?
Yeah, you just stop your mail. And you can do it online. Doesn't cost you a thing. They'll keep it all at the post office. And then you say, hey, I'm home. Do it online again. And they'll bring you this whole big bucket of mail.
That's right. They'll hold it for you.
Then you can keep the bucket.
I don't know how long they will, but I know they do. They will.
Well, they do it for like a month or so.
Oh, okay. Depends. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You might have a month honeymoon. How nice would that be?
Well, I mean,
legals and finances. You need to figure out what you're going to do. Are you going to merge your bank accounts? Are you going to, like you said, put the name on the deed? Are you going to cars? All that kind of stuff. All the legal and financial stuff that you guys do together. Are you going to be a team, or are you going to have separate? You got to figure that out.
Your Chicago was coming out there. You guys. Anyway, sorry.
Every once in a while.
Insure the ring.
Yeah, this is a big one.
That means your engagement and your wedding ring. Mm-hmm. And if his was kind of pricey, do his as well.
Because I tell you what, people lose their rings.
And your jewelry waiver on your home insurance does not cover the price of the ring. I think the standard is $1,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. You have to have an addendum to your homeowner's insurance for jewelry, and it can be more.
And I wonder if you just lose it, or if somebody comes in and steals it, or how that actually works.
I have no idea. We'd have to talk to an insurance person.
Yes, which I have a contact of, and hopefully we'll have a podcast about like wedding insurance and after the wedding insurance kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe for that one. Review vendors. Oh, please review your vendors, especially if you had a positive experience.
We thrive on reviews. Mm-hmm. They give us awards. If you're reviewing on the Knot or Wedding Wire or Borrowed in Blue, any of those sites that you found your vendor on, at the end of the year, we get awards.
Right.
Like we won the Best of Not Weddings for 2017 because our clients reviewed us so many times.
Right.
And they loved us. No, I'm kidding. But that's what brings people to our sites.
Right.
Is the reviews. They see 4 and 5 star reviews and say, oh, they've always had positive experiences. We're going to pick them. So, I mean, it helps us gain clients and it helps us win awards that make us feel good.
But I would say above a thank you card and a thank you gift, a review is the thank you.
Right. And yes, the vendor will probably send you 1,000 emails because they want you to review. Don't get mad at them. They need those reviews.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, there's several sites that you can review them on. If they're on Google, Google's always a good one because it brings their name higher up on the list.
That's right.
When you search for on Google. The Knot, Wedding Wire, like I said, Borrowed and Blue, any other wedding websites, wherever you found your vendor, leave them a review.
That's right. And even if you didn't find them on the Knot or Wedding Wire and you really are feeling the love, review them there too.
Right. And you can even ask your vendor, hey, I want to review you. Send us some links where we can review you.
Right.
And they go, okay, sure.
You know,
here you go.
They're not going to.
Here's a whole list.
That's right.
All right. Off my soapbox. Return or exchanged doubled or unwanted wedding gifts.
That's right.
Yes, you have 3 toasters. You don't need 3 toasters. You have 4 blenders. You don't need 4 blenders. So return them. Hopefully they put the gift receipt in there.
And the quicker the better, because
Right.
you're losing money if you don't.
Because if it goes on sale, they're only going to give you the sale price.
That's right. So take care of those. Take down your wedding website. I mean,
Aw.
or make it into something new. I really don't know if there's a way that they can do that or not, but I believe that you can get all the information off of them that you want, but then you can take them down because, there's no longer a wedding to look forward to.
Make sure you return all your rental items. If you have your vendors, if you had a clause in there where you were able to return them yourself, it's usually like 2 to 3 weeks, then make sure you return them on time or you're not going to get your deposit back or something like that. So don't forget that.
That's right. Because even if you didn't, from your vendor, you didn't rent from your vendor, you've probably rented from another place. So try to keep track of where you rented everything and not return your vases to the party rental place. And
Right.
just kind of keep track of that. Preserve your bouquet if that's something that you want to do. I know there are services that do that.
And you usually need to have like the kit to do it the day of your wedding so you can put it in there and ship it off.
Right.
So contact them before your wedding, have them ship whatever they need to ship you, and have your maid of honor take care of it after you leave.
That's right.
Hopefully she won't forget.
That's why we're reminding them. And then the last thing on our list, check your hashtag on Instagram.
If you have a hashtag, which most people do now, check them on Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter even.
Right. And you can look back and see all the goofy pictures people took, all the drunk people falling down.
Not everybody's drunk at a wedding, Shannon. All the fun videos.
All the goofy pictures. So anyway.
Yeah. Don't forget to check that. I mean, that's the reason you have it. I assume, I know that after the wedding, you're going to be exhausted and starving, but check your hashtag.
If you have Wi-Fi on the plane to go wherever you're going on your honeymoon,
Check it.
yeah.
Like
You're sitting there doing nothing.
Like them all. Give them all a heart. So that's all we really have on our list for you not to forget, but they are all very important things. Go to fromringtoveil.com/101 to see all the show notes on this, and you can print it out right there from the website.
Remember, you can reach us anytime, anywhere, any place through email. Since, most of us have our phones attached to our hands now.
That's right.
It's info@fromringtoveil.com and hashtag fromringtoveil on any of our social media sites.
Until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen on.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find us on Facebook, From Ring to Veil, on Twitter, @From Ring to Veil, and on our website, FromRingToVeil.com.
Music provided by bensound.com.